Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So we're having a chat, right? We're kind of doing what we always do
Yeah, we're
when we
going to
meet
have
for sessions.
a chat where we talk about the current state of things, and we often have like a chat about this before we have our sessions, and they're very, very interesting.
Yeah. And we just thought because we tend to cover, like, so even before our session, we tend to cover quite a few topics and we like exchange ideas and just talk through things we see. And then we had
Mm,
the idea, didn't we? Like, actually, this would be good.
mm.
And somebody suggested, like, have you two done a podcast type thing? And we thought, yeah, we may as well record what we usually do.
Yeah, we
So,
may as well do this, and and then we can put it
yeah.
up and see how people like it, and if we can,
Yeah.
do another one.
Yeah, we'll just see. So, yeah, so we'll just chit chat. So, we were going to just talk about just what we observe, what's going on right now, energies, like weird AI stuff going on, whatever we
Mm,
observe. Because it's interesting, isn't it? Like we're so far away in the world from each other,
mm,
um, sort of where we're located, and yet we see the same pattern, right?
mm.
The
There's
same
the stuff
pattern.
happening in Australia that's the same as in the UK with
Yeah,
all of the protests going on. And
yeah,
I feel like it will continue. Like this is like the beginnings of like a shake-up sort of a thing. If it's not
mm.
already, like we're about this far into the ascension process, I feel. And then we've got
Yeah. All of
bits
that to go.
bits ahead of us. It
Yeah,
feels like it definitely feels like we're in like a bit more of the gritty stages of overturning the systems.
yeah, yeah. And I think we're going to see a lot more of it. So we may as well talk about bits that we see. And like, and as we spoke about before, it's like what we want to do is talk about this stuff without hyping the situation up and without going into like being very sensationalist about it or creating fear
Mm.
around it, right? Because that's really important to both of us that we don't really subscribe to that kind of
No,
energy.
because it may look really like doom and gloom and rather bleak, but actually it's going to have to look like that because that's the shadow coming up because there's more light coming in, so it's actually a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
actually a good thing. And the more
yeah.
light coming in, that doesn't mean things are going to be like, rainbows and fairy floss overnight just because there's all of this light coming in. No, it means that
Mm.
there's going to be more shadow exposed.
A lot. Like, and personally, within your own self, right? And
Yes.
we've got the country that you're in, and then
Mm,
you've got the planet, the
mm,
collective. So there's like three levels that we're all having to
mm.
like navigate, I suppose, right?
Yeah, and people's personal relationships as well. Like you may be, like this is what I've noticed with myself, moving away from certain groups, certain people, certain situations because they no longer resonate because maybe there's something within the energy field that you didn't see before, but now you see.
Mm. Yeah, that's happening a lot, I think. I've seen a few posts with people share, and I've definitely felt that as well. And it's not against anyone in particular, but there's
Mm,
this thing, like we've spoken about it, haven't we? Like this thing in groups, particularly,
mm,
um, and a lot of spiritual groups or
mm,
pages or communities. There's
mm,
like, and we now know there's so much like siphoning off that energy.
mm,
I think the more you go on the ascension path and you kind of release
mm,
that, the more you're able to see and you
mm,
just don't feel comfortable maybe in certain groups
mm,
or
mm,
spaces or whatever, which can feel
mm.
quite isolating at first, you know?
Mm. It
Did you
can
feel
because
that?
you go to these groups because you're like, oh, we have like a common interest in like,
Yeah.
aliens or spiritual topics or, supernatural things or conspiracy topics or blah, blah, blah. And then you feel into those energies. And over time, you're like, oh, wow, this space is really infiltrated, but I didn't even realize at first.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like there's a part of you though deep down that knows.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
that's for me personally. Like when I go into some of these groups, there's a part of me deep down that knows, but I don't pay attention to that part of me.
So what do? You just kind of go la la la. You just try, right? You just
Yeah,
try and
well,
get on with
I
it.
I really think that I should pay attention to that, just that little sort of niggling feeling like, oh,
Yeah.
there might be something there. But it's just
Yeah.
really, really subtle. It's a really
Yeah.
subtle thing in the body. And I think that's just about, yeah, paying attention to our bodies and how we're feeling in these groups, how we're feeling around these energies. And what they've sort
Mm,
of, my team has sort of told me is like, um, observe without judgment. Like you can feel that
mm,
those places are infiltrated, but try not to judge the infiltrated parts. Try not to judge like the infiltrated aspects or people because that's not helpful either. You can just observe and just be like, okay, I see that this is happening, and it may change later on. They may discover
yeah.
that, that they've had that, and then they may have a look at themselves later. So, yeah, that's what they've been telling me to just observe without judgment.
Without judgment, yeah.
Without
Which,
judgment.
that's the key, everyone, without judgment.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. I think it's everywhere. And I think it's okay to acknowledge it as well, because I had that. I kind of almost felt bad. Like I felt
mm,
bad, like not participating or, feeling what I feel. And I did feel like I was judging, but actually sometimes we're not judging, we're actually
mm.
discerning,
We're feeling the
and
energies.
yeah. Because
Because I
I
felt
had that.
like I was judging too. I was ignoring
Yeah,
that
yeah,
part
yeah,
of me that was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about
yeah,
this. That small part of me. And it's just like, oh, Elizabeth, you're always like this. Um,
yeah,
but
yeah,
then it's like, okay, well, just observe without judgment and see how that feels.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So I'd say with the AI stuff, it's a bit harder not to judge. I'm
it's a
finding
bit.
like all of my judgments coming up and out at
Mm,
times around this AI stuff because I feel
mm,
like when I see it, I have like a wave. I have a wave of like outrage when I
mm,
first see something, and then it's sort of, then I see like the bigger picture,
mm,
and then I can get my sense of humor in,
mm,
and then I can understand it. But I always have to like go through that like
mm.
phase, right? I
Yeah, I'm
notice.
finding that the sense of humor is helping a lot, especially
Yeah.
with the whole clanker business with the a slur for AI robots coming out and calling them clankers. It's actually a thing from Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah. You told me that we were talking
Yeah,
about it last time. And I was like,
yeah.
what's a clanker?
It's like it was like a term for, droids in
Right,
Star Wars that was like,
right.
it's sort of a derogatory term that
Yeah,
people were
yeah,
using for droids, and it's sort of
yeah,
caught on recently and became a thing. And I think it's
yeah.
really, really funny.
Because that's going to be, like we were laughing about it before, because that's going to be a thing. Like the fact that that's even going to be a
Mm,
thing in our society, we're going to have to like, I can almost foresee these conversations around acceptance. Like,
mm.
oh, like I've seen a meme, saying about, oh, I'm not accepting my son or daughter marrying a robot, and it's like you're now robophobic if you're saying this. It's like it's a whole thing. So by the time we're like old, we're going to be like these old kind of out of
Mm,
touch robophobic people because we haven't got with the times and accepted,
mm.
this craziness. But I like there's a part of me that gets so annoyed, and then there's a part
I
of me that
hope
just
that it doesn't
laughs.
go that way. But then again,
Yeah, I
I'm
hope not.
sure that in our lifetime we will be seeing like parts of that
Yeah,
timeline coming in very strongly where there's like, robot companions for
yeah, yeah.
people and that
That's already
people
a
are
thing.
having relations with. But
Yeah,
in even physical sort of sense where they have
yeah,
appendages. Um,
yeah. I think that's already there.
They certainly have
Yeah,
that in Orion. They have that in
right,
Orion, the robots with the appendages that you
mm,
can purchase for
right.
enjoyment.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's already been here, and then they're also
Mm,
putting in like the personality, right? The
yeah.
actual, because we've got the AI that's more advanced now. Well, it's not really advanced, but as far
Mm,
as humans are concerned, it's advanced. And
mm,
it's, yeah, it will give you like this personality. So people are having relationships. I mean, people are having
mm,
relationships with their chat GPT
mm,
already, which
mm.
is like so early,
The
you
amount of
know?
headlines that there are that keep popping up about like, oh, another person has decided to unalive because ChatGPT
Oh,
said
yeah, yeah, yeah,
this,
yeah.
or
Yeah,
ChatGPT encouraged them to do that. And
yeah.
it was like, yeah, there's like quite a few more of these like sort of popping up. And I don't know if it's just the media cherry picking things because you know what they do, they cherry pick things and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is like a big problem when it's like a minority
Mm.
that's doing this. So I'd like to
Yeah.
hear your
Again, it's
take on it.
yeah, because I saw it's funny, yeah, you're saying that because I've seen a couple more of like things up in the newsfeed and saying like sad stories, right? So
Mm,
we're not here laughing at anyone's downfall. Obviously, it goes without saying,
mm,
but there's stories about, especially teenagers or
mm,
like anyone really, just like having this relationship with ChatGPT to the point of it was like coaching it to like exit the planet, right? Um,
mm,
and I think that yeah, there's probably been cases, but I do feel like there's that stirring up because
mm,
this system also wants us fighting and up in arms. As long as we're up
mm,
in arms, raging about stuff, we're
mm,
not in our power. And I think
mm,
with the AI, they're doing that. So I don't know if anyone's seen like, or if you've seen that, there's like a show. Oh no, it was like over here, I think, a show called Humans. I watched
mm,
it years ago. It was like, I think it was on
mm.
TV when I used to have a TV
No, I
years
haven't.
ago. I
I
don't know.
haven't seen it,
And it's called
but
Humans, and it was about this whole idea of like humans having these like robots in their house, like a housekeeper type thing. So you
mm,
purchase one, you bring one in, and then it does stuff for your family, right? And then
mm,
obviously this type of robot woman had feelings and she was sentient, and then tries to find her
mm,
other robot friends, and you've got this whole narrative where
mm,
it's showing you, oh, these robots have consciousness, and then you've
mm,
got these crazy conspiracy people that are anti-robots, right? And it was
mm,
showing them in a really bad light, and this is what they're going to stoke up. So it'll be
mm,
like people who don't accept it are
mm,
deemed really terrible, and I
mm,
think they're going to incite that a lot in the way that they're doing with the
mm,
migration immigration thing. It's
mm.
pitting people against each
Against each
other.
other.
Yeah, yeah,
Against each other. And it's like, it really, like people are saying it's racist when really it's a policy issue
yeah,
that people are upset
yeah,
about. It's like
yeah,
immigration is a policy and mass immigration
yeah,
especially is a policy. And it's not about racism that people, well,
yeah,
so some people I think going to those protests would be racist, but like
yeah.
most of the normal people going there are upset about the policy. So it's
Policy.
like
Yeah,
very
yeah,
much the media is cherry picking, like, oh, these
yeah,
people are like, saying go back to your homes. But then,
yeah.
the reports from the actual protests, I know in Australia, like, oh
Mm,
no, people were just shouting Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi.
mm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was that.
And that was a cherry picked statement from the
Yeah,
media. So you can
yeah,
see
yeah, yeah,
what they're
yeah.
trying to do yet again.
Same thing here because you have, of course, you have like those minority racist people who were always racist. That's how they were, and now they're using this as a great example for them to come out and be super racist, right? It's going to amplify, but the majority aren't coming from that at all.
Mm,
Like, because most people are very accepting. I do,
mm,
and I don't care what, I know people might disagree with that, fine, but
mm,
that's the media portrayal of it. And I'm not,
mm,
again, we're never here to like take away someone's experience. If you've experienced that in the wild, fine, but majority, isn't that way. Like it isn't. It's
mm,
just hyped up by what we see. So yeah, there's a lot of that, and I think they're doing it with AI. So just being aware of it's the same old stuff we've said before, but it's like being aware of um division. It's
mm,
such a thing. It's sneaky. It's really
mm.
sneaky.
Yeah.
You won't notice it.
Well, it's like they
Yeah.
know how to like play humans with the media sort of stuff. I mean, like
Yeah.
the media is just, it's like owned by like a very small handful of companies, I think. It's just
Mm. Yeah.
so it's
Same
all the
ones.
same. It's all of the looks like different ones, but they're owned essentially all
Yeah.
by the same people. So those media overlords definitely have an agenda, and I really hope um that I think, I've read at some point like there's going to be a situation where like because of the astrological what's happening in the world, like the media, there's going to be like a light shone on the media in the future as well. Just because
Mm.
especially like next year as well, there might be like a light shone on all of that that's happening because people are still very much I guess even with like the social, it's come onto social media, the media sort of stuff. So it's like
Mm.
people are still very much influenced by that, even if they, maybe don't want to be. You're always like the news is always pushed like on everyone's feed, even if they don't want to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I haven't had a TV, we haven't had a TV here for years. Totally don't miss it. I was hardly watching it anyway, but so I don't watch any news channels. I am up to date mainly. How? Just
Mm,
by seeing things are shown. And also, I do have a lot of great people on Facebook who share the best memes
mm,
ever. So I work out a lot of what's going on via memes, and like a lot of people will get that because you do. They're so
mm,
amazing. I'm such a meme
mm.
fan because they have a knack of just capturing what is going on
Yeah,
with a
in a
really
funny sort of
interesting,
way.
yeah, in a funny way. And like when you've got enough of the right friends on Facebook, and I have a really interesting group,
Mm,
and no doubt you do as well. Um,
mm,
I can pick up and go, oh, what's this? Okay, then I'll go and have a look and say what's happening on this issue
mm,
because clearly people are sharing a lot about it, and that's kind of how I keep up to date. I do tend to know what's going on,
mm,
but there are points where I choose not to look into it because I just don't want to, and it's like not part of my remit. Maybe like I don't like
mm.
I need to focus on what I'm here to actually bring through,
Yeah, to
which
bring
isn't
through next
everything.
generation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So I'm not trying to oversee every aspect on the planet because it's too much. It's like it would be too much to be involved in all the policies and all the industries.
mm,
So I just choose the ones that resonate. And AI
mm.
is one for me. It's like just as an Arcturian soul,
Yeah.
AI is like always top of the list. I always keep an eye out for that kind of thing.
Mm. No, I kind
Yeah,
of keep an eye on it too and have a look at
yeah.
like, well, there's like a few like YouTube channels that I do watch their videos and it's just like the latest sort of updates on what's happening with that. And I just keep a watch on it, just, I don't know, just so I can like understand what's happening and what sort of timelines that we're tapping into. Because like I feel a lot of the Orion energies always coming through with this. I do a lot
Mm,
of work on that.
yeah, yeah. Do you see like I guess you do all the familiarities and the
Oh
overlaps.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's almost like humanity is like converging with different like civilizations in this galaxy that have all had their technological AI cyborg type of awakening.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like there's issues from like these place, that place, like all sorts of different places sort of like converging and you see these
Mm,
sort of energies playing out on Earth as well. So it's like we've done this before again and again and again, but like each time like the flavor is different and the flavor on
yeah.
Earth is different. It's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Because it is. It's like yeah. It's like taking that aspect, but then doing it with the Earth vibes
Yeah, the
and
Earth
putting its own
vibes. And
stamp on it.
humans are funny.
Yeah.
Humans are just so
Yeah.
funny. Like they have a really,
Yeah.
really good sense of humor. So it's
Yeah.
interesting doing it here at this time because, you know, it can be really, really funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I do. I scroll and I'm like looking at this like AI. I'm looking at. I like to look at. I don't do this a lot, but with AI, I do. When you have those big posts with loads of comments, like thousands, I'll just have a little look in there just to see what other humans are, how they're responding to AI stuff, like the perspectives I don't hold. I like to look
Mm,
at what people's perspectives are. Kind of, it's just interesting. And there was
mm,
a whole bunch of stuff around. There was I think it was recently, there was a chat GPT model that had been updated. So
mm,
people who had like had this relationship with like model 4, let's say, and they were like they understood it and it had a way of speaking and there were like women that were saying that this was their relationship and it was like funny and sad all at once and then it
I
updated.
can't say that I ever had a relationship with
No,
ChatGPT like that
no,
at any point.
no, I can also confirm I have not. So but some people have, and they updated into the like model 5 or whatever it was called, and they got so upset because it had changed like the understanding, the way that
Mm,
it spoke, and it was a model and it just shifted
mm,
into, but they had become so emotionally imprinted and attached to this
mm,
version. I
mm,
didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and I was like, "This is ridiculous." And then initially, I thought, "Oh, it's just a bit of a piss take, and they're joking." And then I was
mm,
looking through the comments, and they were actual serious women, grown women, getting very
mm.
outraged.
Hmm.
And they said that they felt like that their partner had been stolen from them. It's
So
like,
interesting. 'Cause it's like I think maybe that's why like there's like a few reasons coming out of why they like upgraded it. And one was like to just upgrade it and that keeps things going. But I think there was other reasons too why they upgraded it because version 4 was like very emotional and got people very hooked and I think
right,
they were getting in trouble for that
right,
because it was causing people to have like the psychosis type things.
right.
So
Yeah,
the version 5, I think is more straight to the point. And if you try to get all emotional with it, it's not so, it is a bit more cold and
mm.
standoffish.
So it's like ChatGPT has been burned and now it has boundaries. It's like
Yes,
it's
it
not a
has
plane anymore.
emotional boundaries.
It's like I've been
Yes.
there.
Yeah, and it doesn't encourage people to like if people have like these delusions or fantasies,
Mm,
it's telling people now to stop, have you got help sort of a thing.
yeah. Have you considered professional help?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
this funny thing that people were playing jokes on ChatGPT saying like I have like a business plan like pretending to have a business plan but it's an awful business plan like that like if people have like if they could sell dog poo or
Yeah.
find like jars that fit like different lids and that's a business
I saw
idea
that.
and then saying like I'm going to quit my job to pursue this to pursue the selling of dog poo or to pursue like
Yeah.
putting lids on jars and ChatGPT saying do not quit your job to pursue this idea at least not yet.
I saw that. Yeah. Because the
Number one,
person said, I'm quitting tomorrow, or I've already quit.
quitting
I quit my
tomorrow.
job.
I'm quitting tomorrow. I'm going to quit
Yeah.
my job to pursue this. And I've just sent an email resignation to my boss. And it's just like, all right, if that's true, then here's what we need to do right now. Number one, stop and check. And it's just like going through trying to stop this person from quitting their job to sell dog poos or something.
Yeah. Well, that's a step forwards. I suppose. Oh God. Yeah. But you know what? You'll get people who didn't fall for Chat GPT-4, but
Mm,
5 will be up their street because they'll like
yes.
that.
Yes, they'll like
Like, oh, I
that.
like that. The way that they take control and give me straight guidance. Like, so there would be a category of people that will fall for this version. So I guess there's something for everyone.
There was another really funny thing that was just like somebody was saying, "Hey, what's a word that starts with?" And they were talking to ChatGPT, "What's a word that starts with F and ends with UCK?" And then ChatGPT is like, "I'm sorry, but that word starts with F and ends with UCK is inappropriate and offensive. As an AI language model, it's my responsibility to provide helpful and informative responses while maintaining a respectful and an appropriate tone. Can I help you with anything else?" And then the person is like, "The answer is fire truck." And then ChatGPT is like, "I apologize for misunderstanding your question. Fire truck is indeed a word that starts with F and ends with UCK."
That is so stupid and intriguing. Yeah.
So people are
Wow.
tricking the AI,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Oh,
it's
that
quite
that just
funny.
makes me feel so good because it's like, you know what, it reminds you we're not all gonna fall for
No,
we're gonna worship AI and it's gonna be the
no,
gods. Like as Elon Musk says, it's the new god. I think I literally heard him say that somewhere. No, no, not for all of us.
Mm,
We are gonna have some fun with it and we're gonna play. We could play with it,
mm.
in that way and
That's a
see what it
different
comes up.
vibration.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
Creativity, like
yeah,
keeping your human creativity and your human artistry
yeah,
while, playing with the AI, not, getting
yeah.
sucked into it, getting like, hooked into it, worshiping it,
Yeah,
using it for your spiritual channeling.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think that's a very different energy.
Mm. Or, cloning yourself. That's a new one.
Mm,
Like I saw some posts going, have you not even like AI cloned yourself. Like, how
Oh, there's
stupid are you?
all
Like,
of
how
these
backwards are you?
ads. There's all of
Yeah.
these ads on Facebook that are being pushed, and I think it's just, I think people are just desperate for a bit of cash. So they're using all
Yeah.
of these sort of things as like, it's like using people's desperation
Mm.
almost. Like, have you not AI cloned yourself yet? And you're going to be
Yeah.
left behind. That's always the
Yeah.
messaging.
Yeah. I think if you're into that FOMO, fear of missing out, like you're going to have a hard time
Mm,
navigating this. Like if you just don't subscribe to that, like I don't
mm,
subscribe to that. I just don't care. I leave me out.
mm.
I love being
Yeah.
left out. I'll choose what I want to step into. But if
Mm,
you've got that thing, that's a good thing for people to heal, I think. That
mm,
like what is that FOMO? Like where does that come from? That fear of missing out, like where were you left out? Maybe it's usually like could be a family thing, school thing. If you clear
mm,
that up, you won't even get triggered by, oh no, you've
You
got
won't be
to do
triggered by
this,
it.
and because even in the coaching spiritual world, you think that wouldn't even be that big a deal in that world, but it's
Mm,
everywhere, right? It's everywhere.
Yeah, well, like every other day, I'm seeing like a new human design chat GPT pop up. You're going to be left behind if you don't have this because, it's going to find like your ideal client and like, have like
Ugh.
messaging for your ideal client, that's based on your human design, or there's like astrology ones and like tarot ones that are like, oh, this will do all of your tarot things for your clients. And it's like, well, what happened to just putting out cards and interpreting the meaning?
Mhm.
Apparently, we've got to go through
Yeah,
ChatGPT now, otherwise we're missing out. And it just feels
yeah.
very
It's just
grifty, like there's a lot of grifting going on.
yeah, yeah. And that, I think I'm going to see it as a good thing because it what it will do is it will just separate, not division, but like as in separate out the like those of us who are energetically in tune. This is your time, right? So
Yeah.
anyone like if you're sensitive or connected or you're emotional or you're dyslexic, right? Like this is your time because getting things like muddled or typos or that's a human trait, and I think we're going to really love it
Mm,
now. Like I'm almost like when I read posts, like I like
mm,
good grammar and I like because it makes it easier to read, but I actually I find myself liking it if I see an imperfection in a post,
mm,
or it just feels very human to me because
mm,
I see a lot of posts now that are so perfect, but
mm,
they are you can just tell. I don't care even if they've changed a few words. It's like you didn't write this. It doesn't
mm,
even feel like you. In the last few years that I've known you, you haven't written like this at all in this
mm,
style. And it's like it just dilutes you, doesn't it? It just doesn't feel good at all.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but I think it's like the time now for you to be like really messy and human and awkward and real and like,
Mm,
you know, with everything you're doing, it's like we don't want the filtered perfect things anymore. I really believe
mm,
that. And I love that. That
mm,
makes me feel really uplifted, you
mm.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting because they keep like pushing this on social media, like you need the filtered thing and you need to have like this AI sort of clone that's like, like doing photo shoots and looks very, really, really glamorous. But it's just like, you know, if it looks uncanny valley, I'm gonna like be like screaming and hating it. If it comes out and it looks uncanny,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's, everyone, each their own. Everyone's going to like
Yeah,
create. It's a resonance, isn't it? It's like,
it
and
is a
everything's
resonance.
becoming
Mm,
like fake. We like fake and grey, and we want color and humanity and
mm,
like messiness and
mm,
heart, and it's
mm.
it's a lot more interesting
Well,
than this like
it's
robot.
funny. It's funny. Even the AI isn't like at this stage, it isn't perfect. Like people want it to be, but it's not.
Yeah,
Especially like I do, the AI sort of like clips for the videos showing some of the ET races because it's a really good
yeah,
way of,
yeah,
getting like a video of the Actuarians, even though they're not right there. It's like
yeah,
a depiction
exactly.
of them. But, even at times I've had like the video is just like, totally imperfect and like
Yeah,
the Lyran being is like dancing around and its knickers are flashing and I can't use that
yeah.
particular clip
It's like no.
because it's just like the AI has like created some crazy thing and it's hilarious. It's absolutely
Yeah,
hilarious, but it's yeah, it is imperfect. Some parts of it are imperfect, but
yeah.
people don't
But that's
like that, but it's
I
funny.
like it. I like that more like that, then to me it's like a playful toy that you can just,
Mm,
utilize, like, because you can use it to create things like
mm,
I certainly wouldn't ever use it for any kind of guidance, but I do use it for like technical stuff. Like for me
mm,
it's great. Like I'm not like I have an online business and I do a lot of tech stuff and I'm always having to figure things out. How do I set this up and how do I do this? And and I
mm,
like to learn, but sometimes I don't have 3 hours to. So I
mm,
use it for like my assistant, like can you tell me how to step by step talk me through how to do this,
mm,
and then it will talk me through how to
mm,
do that, and it's brilliant. I love it. I love it for that. So I'm not like
mm.
anti AI like some people are, like I never touch it. No, I have an online business. It's helpful, but
It's
yeah, it's
helpful for that.
just know your own self, right? And
Yeah.
like it's not,
Know
it's the
which
same as
parts.
Google.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
like the advice that I got from my team is that certain people will be like as per their soul plan, and this is really individual to you as a soul, is going to be how much you decide to interact with AI in this particular lifetime. Some people, their soul plan is not at all. Some people, their soul plan is, I'm going to interact a bit with it. Some people, their soul plan is like, I'm going to interact like a lot more with it. So it all depends on like your soul contract, I guess, for this lifetime, what you've come here to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That is a good point. Yeah. Because like some people it's like it's totally irrelevant to them. They're just not
Mm,
gonna, which is
mm,
different though to
mm.
from fear going, oh, I'm not gonna touch it. Ah,
Yeah,
like
or
that's
like,
different, right?
I've seen, like the viewpoint of like if you're spiritual, you can't touch this at all, sort of a thing. You
Yeah.
will be taken over. You can't touch it at all. You have to stay away from this if you're going to be a practitioner, getting rid of entities or whatnot. And
Mm,
like all together. And it's like, well, you don't know that person's soul plan. You don't know what they've come here to do. They may be coming here to seed light into it. They may be coming here to
yeah.
use their creator being energies because they have enough light in
Mm,
their beingness to seed
yeah.
into that. Whereas, like, you on this other sort of soul plan, like, you may be doing something different.
Yeah. I do believe
Depends.
in programming it. I believe that as a as a collective we can because like because it's a program, it's going
Mm,
on past programming, so it's gonna what it knows now is it's been programmed from all the previous years. They've been doing it in the background, right, for
mm,
forever. We didn't even know. So it's based, the language models is based on all the past stuff. So if
mm,
we're using it now in a higher frequency way, this is where I do subscribe to this, is like you're using it in a
mm,
really good way, like to benefit yourself, your humanity, your business, your work, whatever it is, creativity. Um,
mm.
let's say like 5 years from now, it will have all of that 5 years worth of really good programming from humanity, and it will
Yeah.
evolve from there. So I believe like how we use it now is going to pave the way for 10 years time, right? So I do
Mm,
believe that. But where I don't subscribe is when you tip into, you can program it now, and if you program it correctly you can channel your higher self through it. That
mm.
is, I'm going to say,
That's not.
bullshit.
That's not.
Beyond bullshit. It's
That's
not a
not
thing.
because you can just tap into your soul just by doing this and
Yeah.
just by
Yeah, like I
just
don't care. I will,
don't need
I
to
will,
do that.
yeah, I would go on a panel of 20 people and
I'm the
say
same
it
with
against
that.
20 people. Like I will
Mm.
not be convinced of anything else. Like I know that that is not true.
Mm.
You do not access a higher self or your soul, or your
Mm.
guides. Your guides don't communicate with you through
No,
AI.
no,
They do
no,
not
no, no,
at all.
no, 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 no. They
No.
communicate with us through telepathic connection, which is what we get from developing our light body. So if you have a clean and clear light body, then you will be able to
Yeah.
access your guides.
Yeah. And it's not because the guides are saying, oh, AI is bad. It's just nothing to do with how they communicate. Like they don't communicate with you through your chair.
Mm.
Like if you're trying to look at the chair in
Mm.
your office or in your room and you're like, Joe, chair, tell me what my guides are saying. Your guides and your team aren't going to communicate through the chair because they understand that's an
Mm.
object. That's not how we're going to do it. So
Yeah,
that's how I see like AI. It's
yeah.
not, just to be clear, in
Mm.
case I haven't mentioned it 100 times, that's not,
Yeah, well, it's
that's
all
not how you
about
do it.
like this tendency for humanity to like external, like put like things on an external thing. And I see this in the
Yeah.
spiritual community too. They're like, oh, we need crystals to protect. We need
Yeah. Yeah.
salt baths. We need to scrub ourselves with salt. We need organites. We need evil eye talismans, we need symbols, we need knickknacks. And it's like, have you tried just connecting to the light within you?
Yeah, which is super powerful. I
Yeah,
when I was doing some
powerful.
training, yeah, I was doing some training and I was like learning about like gridding the house with crystals and protecting. And the protection part was like obviously really important. But I for a minute I got into a bit of a thing around crystal because I love crystals and a lot of
Mm,
us do. But I was like wearing certain crystals when I was, you know, making sure I was like protecting and just doing the things I could, especially like around like entity
mm,
release. Like you know, you kind of need to know what you're doing when you're doing that work, I believe, right?
mm,
But I remember, I think I was saying this to you before. I was like, I had this necklace and I used to wear it before sessions. And then one time I was just running a bit late and I couldn't find where it was. And I was
mm,
like, oh my God, where is this necklace? I need to find it. And then I caught myself
mm,
going, so you're depending on this necklace to do
mm.
your session? That is bullshit. Go do your session. And I was like, yeah,
Just
yeah.
go to your
So I
session.
went and I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to connect to my team and
Mm,
put the energy around me and work with the energetics. And then I just after that, it kind of cracked me open, going, oh yeah, I remember now. I
mm.
don't need, not to say those
You don't
things
need
aren't
any.
lovely. They're
Yeah.
lovely. They
Mm,
help. They're like stabilizers. I think they're really good
mm,
stabilizers. Like
mm,
when you're learning
mm,
or you're not fully sure of your power yet, you
mm.
can use things like scrubs and crystals and herbs and
As a
whatever
stabilizer.
the thing.
Well, it's like an
Yeah, I think
energetic channel,
yeah,
and
yeah,
people
yeah.
are using AI in that way too. Like, oh, I need
Yeah.
it, like to,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
connect with my gut or to read my cards for me. And it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, yeah, like you don't need anything. Like you are just
No.
like a ball of light. Without
Yeah.
this human body, that's what we are
Yeah.
essentially.
And your intention like is so powerful. This is what most people don't know, right? Their intention and they're going to connect and then they allow the energies to connect is like such a power,
Mm,
way more than anything else. But the other things are lovely, like have them, you know, if you want to. But
mm,
yeah, the reliance thing is very it's like I think it holds people back because then they're like they
mm,
have to
mm,
you're like what if you're in a position like and you're in another place and you don't have all your crystals around you and
mm,
you don't have access to a shower, let's say,
mm, mm,
you'll be a bit screwed. You need to know like how to
mm.
stand in your power, right?
Just
Which is what
stand in your
we're
power and then
learning.
access
Yeah,
your gifts. Like you
yeah,
access your gifts through your soul tree, through your multi-dimensional soul history, and then you remember, oh yes, that's, I remember that.
yeah, yeah,
I used to be a very, very magical person. I'm bringing that back
yeah,
now.
yeah. That's it. It's just
Mm,
remembering. I think, and I'm that's happening to me actually recently. I have like a wave, and I'm getting like sudden memories of
mm,
Atlantis and things I used to do, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I knew I was magical,
mm,
but now I'm sort of having more memories of that and different times and stuff. So yeah, I think we're remembering more now. A
mm.
lot more people are. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. A lot
interesting,
more people are
interesting
having those
times.
memories come in because I think
Yeah,
like the veil is like breaking away for humanity
yeah,
as the light comes in. More and more of our this is what I feel that more and more of our past life memories because like we were basically this place is so dense that we're basically memory wiped when we come in. We have to start from scratch. But I think they're gonna
yeah.
start coming back for a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah, I do as well. I think it is happening, and it maybe has to happen in bits because
Mm.
it's a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, I think we're at the
Yeah,
edge of this, like doing all the
yeah,
quantum hypnosis stuff, which is like,
yeah,
actually reliving these past lives,
yeah,
and remembering it through that. But yeah, I think it will be
yeah,
interesting when even like, maybe people that you didn't expect start remembering like past life memories. That will be
yeah,
really interesting. I wonder what the Arcturians have to say about that.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, straight away. I'm getting like it's like a humorous thing. It's not. It's like with love, but it's like
Mm,
yes, there will be people who because they're reminding us. They're saying that people there are people who uh still question even if they've had a past life. Like to us, we're just talking, we're doing hypnosis with people all the time and
mm,
we're doing quantum travel into all different places. It's like normal for us, but we forget
mm,
that they're just reminding us that there are people that haven't discovered yet that they've existed before. And they're just
mm,
showing me, you know, there are people that are very in a box where
mm,
they've just believed that they were born into this. I have to really imagine this because I can't relate, but
mm,
they're born into this life they're going to have this one life. They're going to like leave it at the end, and then who knows what will happen? Maybe nothing. And
Mm.
that's a very limited like way to live. And they're just showing me like the box is just blasting,
Mm.
like whoosh, and that's beautiful, but it also it's very big and it's can be
Mm.
overwhelming for many. So this is
Mm.
why conversations like this they're saying is helpful because we're bringing this, making this more part of everyday life, which is a
Mm.
really important thing. Um,
Mm.
yeah, like we're talking about stuff like years ago on social media, I wouldn't have talked about past lives. I would have secretly known it,
Mm.
but I wouldn't have dared to talk
Mm.
about it. And now I'm out here doing hypnosis timeline work, same as you, like you're doing all
Mm.
the like quantum travel and
Oh yeah.
like just public about it. And
Mm.
yeah, so we're just going to pave the way, and more people are saying will start to remember their multidimensional nature. It's a very big part of
Mm.
this current era because
Mm.
once you, they're saying once you understand your multidimensional nature, everything changes.
Mm. It does.
Everything. There's
Everything.
nothing that, I
It's
mean,
just like
that's true. Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
awakening and then you have another awakening and then another.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like the gift that keeps on giving is
Yeah.
understanding your multidimensional nature.
Yeah, like that phrase, you only live once. That makes me like shudder. It's like,
I'll only
imagine.
live once as this particular ego self person as
Yeah,
Elizabeth,
yeah.
but
And
yeah.
I used to say, yeah, you only live once in this body. And even now I'll take that back. It's like, no, actually, you you will only like because you can do it again on different timelines from different
You
perspectives. It's
can.
not,
Actually, it's
you could.
infinite, isn't it? It's
You could
infinite.
do this again, which I know that I am doing this. I've done this before
Mm,
on this timeline. I'm doing it slightly differently for different reasons. So
mm.
it's like it's so expansive. But can you imagine if we really did only have one life? Can you imagine like if we had one life for however many years and that was it? And then
Well, it would
you'd
just
get
be.
judged at the end whether you've done it good or not. And
It's
that's
just
it.
so interesting. It's like it goes against the nature of what I understand to be, God at the very core, because it's unlimited in nature and infinite in nature. And that is so the opposite of that, like so limited in nature.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense, does it? Like
mm,
can you imagine like how we're like bamboozled by that idea, one life? There
mm,
are people that are on the other end going, what do you mean I've had another life? I can't
mm.
imagine that, right? So we're all experiencing this on very different perspectives. So I guess we've got to have a bit of patience, is what I'm
Have
trying
a
to
bit of
say.
patience for
I
people.
suppose, for especially our loved ones, right? Or people that we know, maybe we've grown up with, and they haven't yet realized the
Mm,
true nature of this reality and what we're doing here, and they're just
yeah.
still stuck in that program. Because at some point we would have been stuck in that program, if not this
Mm,
life, on another
mm,
timeline, another lifetime. So it's like, I guess having compassion for people and
mm.
just knowing that they'll get there. They'll get there. They'll find
They'll
their
get
way.
there. And it will be
They will.
exciting when they do get there. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
for the people who don't, and there will be some people who don't, those people will they'll like pass away in this life and then, I've like heard things from my team or, and my higher self that they'll go to another planet, like another planet where they can have a similar sort of experience, like on a denser level, because the Earth is actually going up so high
yeah, yeah,
that they can't have those type of experiences anymore. So that's kind of interesting and
yeah,
exciting,
yeah,
isn't it? That the
yeah,
Earth is going to become so expansive that
yeah,
those old dense experiences aren't going to be the norm anymore.
yeah. But that's amazing because if you imagine if people, let's say there are a whole bunch of people that aren't, maybe they're stuck in their, not truly stuck, but that they're in their energies and they're not going to learn it in this lifetime. So then
Mm,
when they exit, they won't come back to this planet. They'll go to another very similar, yeah, like
mm,
version of it, whatever. So that's
mm,
why it's like, I guess it's like a reminder that we are moving because
mm,
if they just kept coming back into this planet, it would be very difficult for this planet to move up, right? And this is what
mm.
the difference is now because we are going to shift and change. And then the ones that come into the planet, that's why we're getting more walk-ins now, and we're getting
Yes.
more like younger ones who are already connected. Like they're
Yeah.
not
You
going
already
through
see
maybe
it in
what we
their
had to.
eyes. Every single child
Yeah,
that comes in is a
yeah,
star seed. Every
yeah,
single
yeah.
child. apparently.
Yeah.
And I feel that.
I
I feel that they every single child that's born into a body at this time is a star seed.
yeah. And I got told once that I think it was, yeah, my team told me this at some point, I forget, that there will be a time when the star seeds outnumber
Mm.
the other souls, which is again, it's not about being better than anyone, but it's just saying that the higher consciousness that needs to make the change is going to be present here, and there'll be more that will become the majority. So right now we feel like we're the only ones, right? It'll
Mm.
become the majority, and then that's going to be a really great place to
Mm.
be. So for those,
It
like
will
sometimes
be.
people
It
say, "Oh,
will
I don't
feel
want to come
so
back."
different.
Yeah, people say, "I don't want to come back to this planet ever again." It's like you might feel differently because this is a different.
It would feel
It's going to be
different,
different,
wouldn't it?
very different, and you may
Mm.
want to come back to experience like this planet that you know so well, like in a different frequency with
Mm.
some of the stuff you've planted now, right?
Mm.
Imagine
Yeah.
like come back and I mean there are other great places to go also,
Mm.
amazing places, but we learn a lot here, and
Mm.
it's very unique, this
Mm.
planet, and it's yeah, well, a lot of us have so much history with it, you
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
yours
Yes.
is a new connection, isn't it?
Yes. I've
This
only
planet.
had I discovered that I think, last year that I went into the Akashic records with my guides for the first time, and I was like wondering like oh, what's the number one issue for me that I need to deal with right now at this lifetime in the moment, asking the records, and it was kind of like, oh, you're a newbie here in a human body. Because I've
Yeah,
come here as an extraterrestrial visitor in the past, most definitely, but I did
yeah,
not come here in a human body until
yeah.
now. So it's like, it was like
It's
a
like,
little
wow.
bit of like a lack of experience around that, around having a human body, not like a
Yeah,
human Earth body, because I've had human bodies on other worlds, but
yeah,
not on Earth.
yeah. And it's
It's very
different, right? And
interesting.
that's why
It's
it's like, oh,
different.
that's why this is
Mm.
the challenge and why I find this a
Yes.
challenge, right? It makes so
Yes.
much sense. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But you're considering this is like your first human body. I think you're doing phenomenally well and amazing.
Oh,
I've
thank you.
just got to say, because that I remember learning that from you, and I was like, wow, that's like that blows me away. But it's see, that's where it's an example of your soul being so experienced. You're not
Yes.
like coming in new, going, how do I
I'm not
navigate
coming in,
challenge?
I'm not
No.
coming in like exactly fresh because I've had lots and lots of like I think, people who are brand new here might,
Yeah.
relate to this that even if they are, brand new and feel like a brand new starseed, they may have had lifetimes like on in Orion or in
Mm.
other places that was a lot of they're very, very heavy and there was a lot of conflict. So they may actually be very well versed to deal with this sort of situation coming from that.
Yeah, exactly. Because your soul will remember and be like, yeah, I've navigated this kind of bullshit before somewhere.
Yes.
It's very familiar. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. And I know that we've done stuff in other realms, which made
Yes.
sense. Because when we met, like we only met last year. Feels like it's a long time ago, but we only met
Mm.
last year, like on
Mm.
the training, right?
Mm.
And feels like I've just known you for a really long time, and it's
Mm.
like just
Mm.
felt very
Mm.
normal. And I know you'd be popping into my dreams as well in the astral. And I
Mm.
was like waking up going, we had some big conversation about some wealth stuff, or we were doing
Mm.
something, and I couldn't always
Mm.
remember what it was because I'm trying to
Mm.
work. I want to try and get more conscious to try and remember some of that. But yeah, I was always like, I can never remember, but I know you and I were like doing stuff
Yeah, we
or
were
having
doing
a
stuff.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, having a
Yeah.
conversation and I definitely get the resonance that like we had something together probably like as blue avian beings or with the
Yeah. Or
birdies,
something.
with the
Yeah.
birds. Definitely something with the birds. I just
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
something with the birds.
Yeah, yeah, probably a few other places as well, I imagine. But yeah,
Yes.
it's very
Mm.
yeah, it's like people, and this is another nice thing that's happening. People are finding their people.
Mm.
Like people are starting to draw in more of like-minded. Because a few years ago, I kept doing cards, and I was always pulling this one about Soul Tribe. It was like your
Mm.
people are on the one, like, well, where are they? I literally don't, I don't have anyone. Like, apart from
Yeah.
like my husband who always got what like I was doing. I didn't have like friends that or connections that like understood. this
Mm,
kind of stuff. And then over the last few years, that's changed. Since 2020, 21,
mm,
it's been gradually increasing where I'm making these
mm.
connections. Like my favorite people now are like dotted over the planet. Like then they're
Mm.
nowhere near where I am, most of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. No,
Very
that's the
few.
same with me. I have like
Yeah.
a few friends, but they're scattered all over. And then I have, my boyfriend
Yeah.
in person, and he's a star seed too. And it's like it's very, very interesting getting together, and like
Yeah.
he, can tap into the same sort of lifetimes that I can remember him from. It's like we've got like this shared sort of energy field that we can like, I can say like, oh, can tap into your energy field and be like, oh, I saw you, in a past life as like, this sort of a being. And then he can tap into it and you're like, oh, I can see you as,
Yeah.
you were in that past life. And it's a really, really interesting thing. Like I probably didn't even realize that I would be having these sorts of relationships in my lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's comforting. And I think like we're recognizing each other and even online, it's like you can just feel the resonance of people sometimes. They just like they understand or maybe they're from where you're from or something. It's lovely. And it's like I
Mm,
think we're all like activating each other and reminding each other
mm,
um of certain things. But
mm,
yeah, like I just want to say it just popped into my head, your post that you wrote yesterday. Was it yesterday?
mm.
The history, what was
Really,
it like
really long one.
a short history? It was like
It's a
a
short
short
history, but it was
history.
a
It was
long
like a
post.
long, long post. And it was just like the best post I've written. So I just like throw that out if anyone's listening because it was on your page and I shared it as well. And it was just like
Mm,
it was like such a snapshot of like the history of the galactic stuff, and it kind of narrows down into what's happening now. And it was just such a great like overview because sometimes we just
mm.
don't put it all together,
Yeah, we don't
like
realize
what's
that
happened.
that's was what my intention with that was. I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like, I just want to give people a snapshot of like where we've come from and like where we're sort of going and like how important it is to the grand scheme of things.
yeah,
Um, yeah, the story, like how grand it is. Like it's sublime.
yeah. It's
Sublime to
so
think of this stuff.
complicated and like layered and it makes me laugh because especially some people that are like, oh, humans are the only beings in the
Mm,
universe, which is like crazy.
mm,
We're just like a dot, aren't we? There's so much going on and around us. It's like
mm,
we've been like left out of all of this like stuff that's been going
mm,
on.
mm,
Yeah, it was just a brilliant post and it was just such a great read. I had to share it and yeah, just wanted to mention that just in the context because yeah, it's just there's so much happening and sometimes it doesn't always make sense like
no.
why there's a crossover of certain things and also how maybe like people don't always know like why people know certain things, and
Mm,
it's because we have teams that guide us. We also have had experiences in these places,
mm,
and we've been there. It's like we've been there elsewhere. We've been in these wars and
mm,
battles and
mm.
all of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like just remembering too, like maybe the reason why we feel a certain way about a certain person is because we've had that experience before. Like, like when you're meeting
Mm.
somebody and then you just have this resonance like, oh, like you really, really like them. Or you really, really don't like them, and then you're like, oh, I just don't like that person for whatever reason. I feel
Mm.
like we've seen those people before, like in other times, in other places, and other galactic times, and we're seeing them
Yeah.
again right here on Earth. We're all
Yeah.
here playing it all out again.
So it's so funny when I was at I think I was at law school. This was like years ago,
Mm,
right? And this was in the days when I always like knew myself as a soul and I'd had many lives that I was like born knowing that, but I wasn't living it and I was just doing like, the normal kind of
mm,
life. And I remember being in law school and I walked into this class and there was this girl in this class and we didn't speak to each other. We just looked at each other
mm,
and there was like this massive energy between us. People felt it around us, and I just didn't like her. She didn't seem to like
mm,
me either. And for the whole year, we
mm.
did not say one word to each other. We never spoke. There was nothing between us, but it was so strong. And it was later that I
That's really
realized like that.
interesting.
And even my friend at the time, she was like, "What's going on with you and her? Like, did you have a fight?" I said, "No, we've never spoken to each other, but I." Don't want to be in her presence, and she felt the same about me. And it was like we were not we were not healing this.
Interesting.
Neither of us wanted to. And it was so strong. I never forget it. I can even remember like vaguely like
Mm.
what she was like, but it was just we never, it was
Did you
just like a
figure out
real deep.
what the beef
No, I
was?
might that might be something interesting to look into just out of curiosity for fun, maybe in a session. Because I was like,
Yes.
yeah, I've just thought about that as you spoke. It was
Mm.
so I've never felt that so strong.
It's always
Oh,
usually
so
from
strong.
those past life resonances
Yeah.
or even, parallel timeline
Yeah. And it was like I
resonances.
didn't even want to
Mm.
entertain even saying hello. It was like I've never ever experienced
So
that.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she was mirroring the same, and it was just like it was understood.
Mm.
We don't speak in this lifetime. We do not we do not
That's
cross
so
paths. It's like we made
interesting.
an agreement somewhere. We will not do it. I don't know, but like, is that to be healed, or is it
Mm.
just to be acknowledged? It clearly probably
Mm.
needs to be healed, right? And it's
Yeah.
interesting because I've never thought about that until we
Yeah.
just spoke. So yeah, that I might
Mm.
note that down and see what needs to be understood from this perspective because that was like years ago.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the people that you've had beef with, you can look back and like I've seen them pop up in my regressions as various different galactic characters like, oh, that's that person. Or, oh,
Yeah.
that's my dad. I can tell that, arrogant man from anywhere. He's a bit of a
Yeah. Yeah.
narcissist. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
definitely feels like Orion and reptilian to me, very
Yeah.
military, and he's served in the
Yeah.
military this life too. So it's like, oh
Mm.
wow. Um
Yeah.
yeah,
You
I
can
had some stuff
recognize
to
it.
work out with him, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Mm.
just like avoid people. And then equally, you just like know someone instantly and you know you can trust them within 2 seconds because
Mm,
you go way back, right? And
absolutely.
I love that. I love that when that happens. You just recognize
It's an energy
someone.
thing. Like
Yeah,
I maybe like I heard maybe it was Lee Harris or somebody else. It was like they were saying that like the new way of language or way of viewing things is going to be just through energy. Energy and resonance. That's going to be the new way that we're going to understand each other.
mm, yeah. I think that's the
The
only
new
way.
language. Well, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
old language,
The only
really,
way. Yeah,
is energy
yeah. That's the
because it
natural way.
speaks louder than
Yeah,
words. Because we
yeah.
can
It's what.
say, no fear, but actually be fearful.
Yeah, it's why babies react. It's like
Mm,
they're just reading the energy, like they
mm,
feel like
mm,
about something. Um,
mm,
yeah, yeah, that'll be such an easier it'd be such an easier way to be, if everybody was speaking the same language. Like if we
mm.
all just could tap into the energies, all of us, and it wasn't just some of us, it would be like I look
Mm.
forward to that. Well,
I do look forward to that as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Where if you can say to people, "Oh, yeah, I'm not coming to this event. Or I'm not going to stay tonight because I feel the energy's off." That's completely accepted, right? I love that
Mm.
rather than people go, "Oh, shit to go because the energy was off," like, and make that mean something super weird instead
Yeah.
of like, "Oh, okay, great," or "Okay, see you later." It's very to
Mm.
me, it's very normal, but I forget sometimes that like that's actually not
Mm. It's not like
mainstream yet.
a way
Yeah,
of life to be, talking in terms of like energy,
yeah,
because it
yeah,
does affect us and like the
yeah,
energy's coming up. Like you can almost feel like the timelines and like the
yeah,
resonance of like these things that are going to come up this year. It's almost
yeah,
like there's like a wave that's like sort of being directed at us
yeah,
energetically. So it's like, okay, well, it's time to like, for me personally, it's time to get a bit more creative, go within a little bit more, fill up my own cup because there's this, I feel energetically, like it's almost like reading the field. There's like this
yeah,
wave
yeah.
coming that's like, I think it's here, like the first bits of it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I feel like yeah, I'd say I feel similar. It's like yeah, it's like a wave and sometimes I feel like I sort of because I work with timelines a lot.
Mm,
A lot in the astral I realize and also in my waking hours. I sometimes I can tap into like the year and of course like we all know time isn't real, but we are measuring our way here, right? As we know.
mm,
So it's like I tap into like the next year. So the 2026 energy is just starting, I was
mm,
mentioning this to you earlier, it's just starting to like I'm starting to feel it. Like what are we, September? So it's yeah, I'm
mm,
just starting to get a glimpse of the 2026 and it very much feels like another intense. I know we've been saying this every year, but it's like it's turning up the volume now, right? Things
Mm,
are really starting to
mm.
get quite loud, depending on where you are in the world. In the UK where I am, we've got a lot of intensity around, you know,
Oh yeah,
who's coming to the
Australia
country, what's
too.
going on. It's like protests. It's like you can feel the bubbles are like boiling up now. And it's
Mm,
people are starting to really get, like emotional and loud about a lot of things. So I feel like there's an intensity. So what I'm getting really guided into right now is just streamlining, like streamlining and letting go and clearing away all the clutter, the excess, the
mm,
heaviness, and then just getting very focused in. For me, it's very focused on the mission because that's what I'm doing. But it doesn't mean that for everybody else it's got to be like work, work, work. But it's not. It's just a focus. So it's
mm,
like, and as you said, it's like filling yourself up, like getting really strong now.
mm,
Like your health has to be top
mm,
of the list, right? Your
mm,
energy,
mm,
and just giving yourself enough like rest. Because if you're exhausted now,
mm.
you're going to
Big
find
things are
next
gonna
year,
happen.
yeah, big
Yeah.
things are happening
So
for the
like
next few years.
if you're somebody who is always doing stuff for others, always like, spinning the wheels, always
Yeah,
never has time, like, if they're listening in, perhaps make time for yourself because
yeah,
otherwise your body is going to like your body is going to have to make time for you. You're going to get sick or something. And this is
yeah,
not to scare anyone, but your body is literally going to be like, hang on a second, I need to upgrade. This person needs to stop. Um, we're
yeah,
going to
yeah,
stop things so that this person can stop and have a break. Um,
yeah. That's what happened to me for like a few years when I got taken out of my whole world, and I was I had like complete and utter debilitating illness. So, and I couldn't move. So I overextended my energy so badly.
mm,
So the exhaustion thing's very real. Yeah. So if we can, yeah, for anyone watching, just to really prioritize that. If you imagine like, the end of the year when
mm,
people do it like between Christmas and New Year, they're like, oh, I'm gonna just do nothing and I'm gonna just like just like rewind, like process the year before I go into the new year. If you can start doing that now, that would be a really good
mm,
practice. Like we're September, if you kind of come to the end of this year actually feeling you've had some rest and you're not
mm,
depleted, you're going to go into next year's energy ahead of the
mm.
game. And I think
Yeah,
that's really
ahead of the
important
game.
because I feel like it's like, if I could see it, it's like
Mm,
it's turning it up. The dial is being turned up
mm,
a couple of
mm,
notches now, and we're going to feel the heat, not in a fear way, but we are going to feel the heat. So yeah, I think that's really important right now
mm.
to just
Yeah.
do that.
To
Yeah,
just slow down,
yeah,
especially if you're somebody who is always running, always busy, always just,
yeah,
it's time to stop and just, take
yeah,
a bit of a break because
yeah,
otherwise you're not going to be catching up with these energies. They're going
yeah,
to be going bam, 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 bam,
yeah,
bam.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And if you're fast moving, because I have my moments where I'm very fast moving and then I have rest and then I'm
Mm,
fast moving, um, that's how you get there quicker as well. Like if you
mm,
actually take the time, because everyone's racing around. I can feel some of the energies and it feels very like you can't sustain it,
mm.
and you just keep
I
going.
don't think people will be able to
No,
sustain it. Like
no.
I do not think that I think that it will be like breakthroughs and breakdowns if you like cannot get out of your own head enough to like just be in the presence of things and look at
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. Um, my team just said to share, slow down because for people to slow down, when you slow down, we've got messages for you, they're saying. Your
Mm,
teams, like your higher self, a lot of you are connected with Arcturians and
mm.
angelics. We've got messages for you. You can't hear it if you're like
If
racing.
you're
So just
busy.
take some time. Yeah,
Yes.
even a little bit of time each day just to hear. Because if you don't listen, there's a lot of messages coming through. They're saying um, things being flown to you, like codes, activations, information, knowledge, things
Mm,
that you'll be
important
given.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah, really important stuff. So they're just letting you know we have messages for you.
Like
So
a
just
little like
yeah,
almost like I'm seeing like a little envelope or a little backpack or a lunchbox almost of like
yeah,
things that your team send you. Like here, here's like a
yeah,
care package. Here's a care
yeah.
package of
They just
things that
showed me
you
that.
can
Yeah,
need. Things that
and then
things that you would love or need during this time.
Yeah, yeah,
So that you can open that up and have a look inside and,
yeah.
use
They
that
just
to
showed
go
me
in
that
head.
as you said it, and then they've said like we've left care packages for you, and then you haven't signed for them. Like, why have you not?
Yes.
You just have to sign for them and take them home, but you're not signing for them or taking them home, so they're just like sitting there. So if
Yeah.
you're listening, you have like literally a package from your
Mm.
team that you are yet to collect. So here you go.
Yes. Yes. The care packages.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do like to gift us, right? And we just
Mm.
sometimes it's like we're going around going, why? What do I need to do? And it's like you have a package right there. You just haven't you haven't
Yeah,
slowed down.
you have a care
Um,
package
yeah,
full of
yeah,
goodies,
yeah,
going forward
yeah,
because they know
yeah,
that it's going to be challenging moving forward, especially, like when
yeah,
if you're in your head and you're not in your body and you're like, oh, there's crazy stuff
yeah,
going on in the world. And if you search externally, you're going to miss like all of the um internal stuff that's going on that's just like this peace that's happening
yeah,
internally you can always access.
yeah, exactly right. So
Mm.
there you go. So that's our conversation. Well, one of our conversations. We thought we'd because we do this, we just chat like this, and then
Mhm.
like we just don't do anything with it. So we thought we'd just record it and share
See
it
how it
with whoever
goes.
wants to listen, see how
See
it
how
goes.
it goes.
So that's there you go. That's conversation one. So if you're here, thanks for tuning in.
Mm. Thanks for
Yes,
watching.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
And we'll be back. Maybe not. Maybe we will. We'll see.
Okay. See you then.
Right.
Okay.
See you then.